Honestly, this is video number 2, which is wild to me, but here I am. So if you want to click off, you're free to. However, honestly, bad bitches stay. So if that's you, stay. Anyways, my name is Nairok. Welcome back to my channel. If you're one of the 10 people who like clocked in and watched the last video, honestly, I love you for that. And honestly, you're beautiful, you're amazing, you're fantastic. If you decided that this isn't for you, I'm glad to hear. You can exit that way. You can click the whatever. Anyways, so I've had this on my mind for, I want to say at least since I woke up, but definitely since I went to bed. But now the way that my brain works, maybe it's the ADHD, I don't know, ADHD, but now I'm thinking of like 10 different thoughts, so I'm just gonna yap and you're just gonna listen. And if you want, definitely like comment in the comment section or whatever, or keep your thoughts to yourself, you know, that's your business. But lately I've been thinking about how everyone just kind of has an opinion, just like, you know, the saying, like an asshole, everybody has an opinion. And like the things that come out of the asshole, sometimes people's opinions are shit and you don't have to listen to them. And I say all this to say that everyone has an opinion of you. Like, this is something that we all know, like it's evident. Everyone and their mom feels like they can comment on the way that you live your life, especially if you decide to live your life in a way that is outside of the norm or not by the standards that people have like set in their mind, especially for you or for whoever. And as someone who is a recovering people pleaser, I used to like try to bend the way that I would live based on who I was around and try to fit the mold of what I thought that they thought was acceptable. And everyone knows, like, people pleasing, you're not pleasing the people. Like, genuinely, people still don't respect you if they choose to not respect you. But taking other people's opinions as your own, never helpful. Anyways, as I was saying, growing up, let me rewind a little bit, actually, because what triggered this thought was, I remember I was working with someone the other day. I work in retail, and so the people that I often work with tend to be a little bit younger than me, if anything, because it is like one of those entry-level jobs, right? And I was working with one girl in particular who was saying how which honestly it kind of ate, like I was like, you know what, whatever you think about me, keep thinking it, I'm here for it. But she was saying how she felt that she felt intimidated by me, or like when she would work with me, she felt a little bit on edge, which granted, I am her boss, so I understand where some of like the anxiety stems from. But it was also low-key giving microaggression, but I'm not even gonna go into that. And so I was kind of just like, you know, like, I'm not gonna bite your head off, but if you want to believe that that's the way that I am, I'm not gonna stop you from thinking that. I'm not gonna prove you differently. You can think what you think about me. Then I ended up starting to spiral into thinking about other people who also had opinions about me that they wanted to voice to me at different points in my life. And one in particular was a friend that I had in high school. Nothing ever happened with us, like we just kind of stopped talking, you know, people part their ways. But when I first met her, like I went to a boarding school, and I, like, my suite mate at the time, who I low-key didn't know was my suite mate for like a solid month or two. We had never really talked, barely crossed paths, even though we lived right next door to each other. And this literally cemented how irrelevant her opinion of me was to me at the time. But she had like stated to me that when she first met me, she felt that I was like a goody goody, or like a teacher's pet. Like those were the words that she used, goody goody / teacher's pet. And I was kind of just like, I mean, oh, okay, like if that's what you want to think about me, then sure. I didn't ever I never countered that opinion of me, because it was irrelevant. Like, I didn't know how to take that at the time either. I was kind of just like, I mean, okay. You know. And like when I think about it, there's definitely people who think of me as the villain. Like when I think about my family's point of view of me, it's probably like the distant, very quiet sibling slash daughter who doesn't really mingle too much with what the family got going on. There's definitely ex-friends that I have that probably look at me as like someone who is, I don't know, like villain in their story. There's men who probably think of me as whatever, like everyone has an opinion of you. Anywho, in the last opinion that I got of me, which was my like younger coworker, I remember I used to be a little bit more bent out of shape if you thought of me in a way that I didn't think of myself. Like in my head, in my head, I'm a kind, fun-loving, confident, funny person who also sometimes will not take the bullshit. I don't always want to talk to people because sometimes I be to myself because why am I going to waste my words? And I know that everyone has like a different point of view of me. Like my partner might see me as someone who can be a little bit guarded, but is also a little bit softer and lovey-dovey and might see me in a romantic slash sexual light. My friends may see me as someone who's like fun-loving slash, I don't know how they see me, but this is how I would hope they would see me, you know. Fun-loving, supportive, reliable, whatever. My siblings might see me as like loving, whatever they may see me. Everyone has a point of view of you though, and none of those point of views are necessarily wrong, and they're not necessarily right. They're just their opinion. You get me? So the way that I view things in general is that if there's gonna be and of course, granted, you're not gonna meet 8 billion people in this lifetime. I hope not. The internet makes people more accessible, but if there's gonna be 8 billion different people, there's gonna be 8 billion different perspectives. And the thing is people see life the way that, like, based on their own perspective. Like, people don't see you as you are, they see you as they are. So if someone is going through life with like kind of like a jaded way to see things, they think everybody hates them, the world is out to get them, everything sucks, they might see you in a way that is not so great. And if someone sees the world in a way that's like from a lens that's like loving and ooh, everyone is amazing, everyone has beauty in them and blah blah blah, they might see you a little bit more in a bit of a lighter, in a better light, right? And it doesn't necessarily mean that their opinion of you is wrong. It could be wrong to you, but it's right to them. So I say all this to say, do not allow people's opinions or like their way of life to dictate how you live. Like, you're allowed to see things how you want to see things. Now, I will say that sometimes there is gonna be like objective fact. Like, if you're an asshole to someone and like it's clear that you're being an asshole, then you're being an asshole. But it doesn't necessarily mean that you're an asshole all the time, and it might just mean you're an asshole to that person. But don't let that dictate how you see yourself forever. Maybe just course correct or like do some introspection if you need to, and do it from a place that is like non-biased. Do it from a place that is not so critical. Not all criticism is bad, but do it from a place that's like non-judgmental, non-critical, and from a place of love and compassion. And then course correct as you need to, like become a better version of yourself as you see fit. You know, take heed in, you know, your own self-evolution. This isn't to say that everybody around you is wrong, and if they have a criticism about you, it's wrong. No, but you don't have to take everything that someone says as fact right away. Let it marinate on your spirit a little bit, but don't take it as like, don't take their word as bond every time. Just saying. Anyways, I feel like this is gonna go into something else, but that's all I have to say for now. Mwah. Bye. Love you.